Hey guys, welcome to today's class. Have fun.
Hello students, you're welcome to today's English class with Ms. Brown. I hope you have been having a good time and I hope that today will be an exciting and interesting class as usual. In the last class we went over a comprehension passage and we also learned how to answer questions effectively. In today's class we are going to answer past questions on registers. I hope you are ready. So, remember we briefly discussed registers in the last class and I hope you have been practicing as much as possible. So let's get right to it. Um, you are no stranger to registers. When you see the part 2 of your junior WAEC question, you're immediately scan, required to scan the passage and glean as much information you can. And you're also required to go through the options. So that you can get a general idea of what is being discussed. So we can already see from the words in the option box that it is about politics. So keeping that in mind, we are going to answer the first few questions. To do that, you have to read. Many countries in Africa should be returning to civilian rule soon. The means that will be adopted for this will be a dash. So in the dash you have number 9. Let's close number 9 and see what the answer would be. A dash. Will it be a vote, a general election, a by-election, a ballot, or a selection? The answer is obviously by a general election because that is what fits there. Both the meaning of the general election fits the rest of the sentence and the grammar representation also fits. So the first answer is B, a general election. Number 10. This will begin with the selection of dash by the main political dash involved. This will begin with the selection of dash. What selection are we talking about? Is it a selection of contestants? Is it a selection of players, opponents, voters, or candidates? The answer to that question is candidates because in politics they do not call the participants contestants. Neither do they call them players. They're not sports people. They don't call them opponents and they don't call them voters. It is the voters who go to choose who they want. They're not the ones competing in the election. So the answer to that is candidate. Let's go to number 11. This will begin with the selection of candidates. Remember the answer we chose? By the main political dash involved. This one is very simple. Is it political parties? I'm at number 11 right now. Or is it political teams, sides, groups, or tribes? The answer is political parties. That's a compound word and they go together. So you know that the answer is political parties. So we're getting it right. Voting will be by universal dash, which means that every citizen over 18 will be able to vote. Voting will be by universal dash, that's number 12. Will it be by universal casting, universal ballot, universal suffrage, universal nepotism, universal battering? The answer is universal ballot. Suffrage also means your ability to vote, but it can also mean a woman's right to vote. Nepotism is simply the practice of giving favor or certain privileges to a person because they are related to you. Battering is an exchange you make, and casting doesn't necessarily mean is not necessarily politically inclined. You can have casting in movies and plays, so ballot is the right answer. I want you to look up that word in your spare time and see what it means. Okay, so voting will be by universal ballot. We're currently at number 12, which means that every citizen over 18 will be able to vote. Voting will follow the dash in which the voters will try to access the dash. Sometimes it gets confusing. So let's say voting will follow the dash in which the voters will try to access the dash and ability of the various men and women offering themselves for this election. Sometimes to get the meaning of one, you have to read a little further and use your intuition to decide which word should be in the option. So let's go. Voting will follow the dash, in which voters will access the dash and ability. So that's number 13. Will voting follow the contest? Will it follow the campaign? Will it follow the fight? Will it follow the battle or the program? I'm sure you've heard campaign. The campaign comes before the election. So rather, the campaign comes before the voting. So campaign is the proper answer. You don't vote before the campaign. You vote after the campaign. So the option for number 13 is campaign. Let's say the sentence correctly now. Voting will follow the campaign in which the voters will try to access the dash and ability of the various men. That's number 14. Would they be accessing the position? Would they be accessing the validity? Would they be accessing the wealth, the charisma, or the maturity? When you go to vote, you're not concerned. A person who goes to vote with the right frame of mind is not concerned about the wealth of whoever he's voting, or the charisma, or even not necessarily the maturity. You can be concerned about the maturity, but the most important thing you are concerned about is the validity of that person. Is the person a valid candidate? I'm sure you've heard that expression before. Is the person responsible enough? Does the person have enough integrity? Is the person generally accepted by others to be in that position? So you're looking at the person's validity and not necessarily the person's position. So the answer to number 14 is B, validity. Let's go back to number 14. Access the validity and ability of the various men and women offering themselves for the election. It is possible that meetings may be dash and that word should be rowdy. Meetings should be dash and rowdy, not and body, please. Meetings should be dash and rowdy. Let's see. Number 15. Meetings could be turbulent and rowdy. Meetings could be troublesome and rowdy. Meetings could be seething, broken up, or disobedient. The most correct expression for that sentence is turbulent. When something is turbulent, it is not necessarily calm. Okay, it is high energy and not always for the good. So when something is turbulent, just keep in mind that it is not calm. And we have seen many meetings where politicians start to get into fights and they lose their minds and get so upset, and the supporters of the different candidates start to go to fighting or to war with each other. So the meetings are most usually turbulent. Okay? So the answer for number 15 is turbulent, especially as the election reaches its dash. It is possible that meetings may be turbulent, and remember I told you that the word is rowdy, and rowdy especially as the election reaches its dash. Is it its summit, its apex, its height, its crisis, its climax? The answer to number 16 is climax, because climax is the highest point of everything. Climax. That's the most exciting point, or the highest point, or the turning point for anything at all is the climax. So we have seen that when we are closer to the election, it almost becomes like a fight. Everybody gets so hyped and so excited. They want to do all they can to get the person that they support into office, or they want to do what they can to make sure that they win the election. That is the climax. Remember, in literature, when we talk about climax in literature, we are simply referring to the highest point of events in the story, the most exciting point. In books like Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe, the climax is not so easily defined because there are so many exciting points in the story. But the highest point of the story is when Okonkwo kills his adopted son, and we see that things begin to go downhill from there. So that's the most exciting point of anything. There is a climax. Now let's go to number 17 and see what it has to say. It is possible that, reaches its climax when the voters will go to the polling dash and vote by dash. Polling what? Is it, let's go to the options. That's number 18. Is it polling boxes? Is it polling offices? Is it polling stations? Polling rooms or polling houses? I'm going to let you make the decision by yourself. Think about it. What do you think the answer is? Polling. We usually hear polling units, right? But there's no unit in option for 17, so the most likely answer is polling stations, because we don't say polling offices, we don't say polling boxes, we don't say polling rooms or polling houses. Polling stations are the places where people go to cast their vote. Okay? When the voters will go to the polling station and vote by dash, how does this vote happen? Is it by public votes? Is it by secret ballots, proxy, posts, or casting lots? You don't cast lots when it is time to make elections. When you cast lots, you're just depending on chance. You maybe pick a paper and then somebody picks it. You pick a certain number of papers, throw them into a bag, shake it, and then somebody dips their hand into it to pick out one. That is an example of casting lots. We don't post. We don't do it by proxy. When you do it by proxy, you're sending somebody. You can't do that. You have to go to vote by yourself. You have your ID card, your voter's card, and your face has to be on the card. You can't send your mother or your father or your friends to go and vote for you. So the answer is to vote by secret ballot. The secret ballot system is practiced by Nigerians and Nigeria. When nobody knows who you voted for, you just pick the person you want, and not even the officers working at the polling stations can tell what you have picked, tell who you have chosen to be your leader. So we do the voting by secret ballots. Okay, nobody knows what you've done. We don't practice public voting. Okay, and vote by secret ballot. So the answer for number 18 is secret ballot, which is option B. The counting of the votes will be supervised by the dash, who will then dash the winner. Who counts the votes? Remember, in Nigeria they say, make sure that your vote counts. Who really counts these votes? The person who counts this is the returning officer. That's number 19. He's the one who's charged with counting the votes and making sure that it is complete. It is not rigged. And then the returning officer counts the votes and supervised by the returning officer, who will then announce the winner. You don't report the winner, you don't write the winner, you don't sketch the winner, you don't choose the winner, you announce who the people have chosen. So that is it for legacies and structure, for registers rather. When you are at the point of answering questions on registers, you have to pay attention to what you're doing, because it's very easy to mix it up at this point. I'm sure that in your primary school you've learned verbal reasoning and how to pay attention to what you're doing. If you do not pay attention to the words you are choosing, to the options, you're going to miss it. You may know the right answer, but out of being distracted, you could pick the right answer for the wrong option. So when you're done with choosing your options, read again and make sure that every answer you chose fits the correct slot for it. I had a bad experience when I was younger, and I knew the answers, but I misplaced them. And because I didn't check after I had written my work, I failed. I didn't do so well. So always check. After that experience, I vowed that I will always check. So the next part is lexis and structure. Let's take a couple of questions on there. In this part, you're simply required, let's read the instruction. From the words lettered A to E, choose the word or group of words that best completes the gap in the following sentences. Let's go. You're choosing the one that best completes. You're not choosing opposites or synonyms. After he had run away from the fight, the people called him a dash. Gambler, no. A daredevil, no. A daredevil is a person who would most likely not run away from a fight. Coward, yes. The answer to that is, we also have other options, desperado, caution. The correct answer is coward. C. After he had run away from the fight, people called him a coward. 22. Aduke was too dashed to tell her family about winning the race. Too vain? If she was a vain girl, she would have shouted it from the rooftop, I won the race and I beat everybody, I'm the best. Was she too conceited? No. A conceited person is also sort of vain. Arrogant, of course, very proud and all. Modest, yeah. Seems like a modest person would not want to sing their praises. Prudent means to be wise. So the answer to that is modest. Aduke was too modest to tell her family about winning the race. Aduke must be a very humble person. 23. The picture book was noted for its beautiful dash. Is it demonstrations, compositions, illustrations, illuminations, representations? The answer is not composition, not demonstration. It's illustration. It's a picture book, right? A picture book will obviously have illustrations, which can also be called pictures. So illustrations and pictures are synonyms for each other. The two brothers fell out and refused to leave the same house. Is it live through, live out, live down, live on, or live in? Live in the same house. He took it upon himself. I've even provided the answer. He took it upon himself to spread the unfounded rumors. He didn't take. Let's explore the other options. He took it about himself. No. He took it for himself. No. He took it in himself. No. He took it by email himself. No. He took it upon himself. 26. The second round of the competition will be played tomorrow. Played in tomorrow, played off tomorrow, played away tomorrow, played out tomorrow, played off. The answer is played out tomorrow. Number 26. Bear with me. I hardly expected him to rise the occasion so well. Rise with, rise from, rise into, rise to. I hardly expected him to rise to. The answer is D, to the occasion so well. The doctor said he would look again this evening to see how you were. It should be to see how you are. Is it to look up, to look on, to look in, to look through, or to look to? The answer is C, to look in. When you look in, you check. You're basically checking on the person. Okay, so let's call our class a day at this point. I hope you have been able to follow through and understand most of the answers that were provided. It is my pleasure to spend this time with you. As much as you can, practice the questions in your past question papers. I have first-hand knowledge that most of the questions given to you, especially in this part of lexics and structure, registers, synonyms and antonyms, will be from the past question. So please, study as much as you can. In our coming classes, we're going to take words nearest in meaning, we're going to take words opposite in meaning, and we are also going to interpret some expressions, and we'll have the test of orals. So please enjoy, have fun, see you next time.
I hope the class was interesting. If you have questions, please drop them in the comment section or send us an email. We will love to help you further. See you in the next class.